Hello and a very good evening. President Xi Jinping spoke out on political reform in Hong Kong during a meeting with Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying in Bali today. According to Leung, Xi said any changes that must be made in line with the Basic Law and decisions of the National People's Congress Standing Committee, and the reform has to be carried out in accordance with the law. Evelina Leung reports.
President Xi Jinping held a meeting with Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying and his team on the Indonesian resort island of Bali today. Also in the meeting were Wang Huning and Li Jiangshu, Policy Research Office Director and General Office Director of the Communist Party's Central Committee, respectively. The closed-door meeting lasted for around 40 minutes. The chief executive met the press afterwards. The president stressed that everything related to political reform must be in line with the basic law and decisions of the National People's Congress Standing Committee, Leung said. The president also emphasized the government and everyone in society have to respect the rule of law in Hong Kong and do things in accordance with the law, the CE added. Besides political reform, the problem of housing in the SAR was also discussed. Leung said he informed the president that property cooling measures are needed to stabilize the market. On the 2010 Manila tour bus hostage tragedy, the CE relayed to the president demands for an official apology and compensation made to the Philippine government by survivors of the ordeal and the victims' relatives. Leung said the president then instructed relevant authorities to follow up on the matter with the Philippine government. In Hong Kong, an organizer of the Occupy Central movement was on the defense after hearing the president's comments on political reform.
We do not see any of our proposals going against the basic law. And we think that the most representative type of nomination committee arguably should consist of all citizens, all voters. At least logically, we believe that this is sound. If the authorities believe that this is inappropriate, we would like to listen to the arguments.
Evelina Leung, TVB News.
President Xi Jinping also met with Taiwan's delegate Vincent Hsu on the sidelines of the APEC talks today. During that meeting, Xi stressed the tensions between the mainland and the island have to be resolved soon. The Taiwan representative said the relationship between the island and the mainland has been improving in recent years. According to Xinhua News Agency, the president called for a family relationship across the Taiwan Strait. She said the two sides should make use of the opportunity now to resolve the long-stemming political problems that lie between them. He also said they need to strengthen economic cooperation to face the challenges arising from the developing Asia-Pacific region. More than 100 people took to the streets today to protest against the long queues that parents have had to endure just to sign their kids up for kindergarten in North District. But as Diane To reports, the Hong Kong Kindergarten Association has some suggestions to improve this situation.
Priority for Hong Kong children. That's what these parents demanded as they rallied from Fanling MTR station to the North District government offices this morning. Many were dressed in red to symbolise their anger over the fight for a kindergarten spot in the area. They're upset about the queues of hundreds of people that formed outside the kindergartens over the past few days, many of whom were mainland parents whose children were born in the SAR. They complained that the government isn't doing anything to protect their children's right to an education.
We think this is not fair for Hong Kong people. They have to fight for us, stand for us, and then discuss with us.
While many schools now say they will consider SAR residents first, the president of the Hong Kong Kindergarten Association suggests schools set up centralised application days to make it easier for parents. Speaking to TVB News today, Mary Tong said a limit should also be set on how many schools they can apply to.
But this issue will have to be done by all these kindergarten principals or their management committee. So they must have the same tone, consensus. So once if they display their counters into the town hall on the designated dates, so parents can all go there and visit that allocation center, then they can have the 2 quotas, then they can simply choose.
Tong urged the Education Bureau to help with the coordination so that this can happen by next year. The number of cross-border students starting school is expected to rise further next year. But Tong said the logistics and resources needed to add school places is not a simple matter. She called on mainland parents to consider other districts near the border, such as Yuen Long and Tin Shui Wai. Diane To, TVB News.
The partial government shutdown in the United States has entered its 6th day, and there is still no end in sight. But there is hope for the 800,000 furloughed employees. While the Pentagon plans to recall 400,000 civilian employees, lawmakers have voted to retroactively pay other furloughed workers once the federal government reopens. Good news for those furloughed over the U.S. government shutdown. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle in the House of Representatives agreed to retroactively pay 800,000 furloughed federal workers once the government reopens.
407, the nays are 0. The bill is passed without objection. The motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
Plus, citing the Pay Our Military Act signed by President Barack Obama on Monday, the Pentagon plans to recall 400,000 civilian Defense Department employees. The act states that those who contribute to the well-being of the U.S. military should not be furloughed. But any hope of passing a funding bill or raising the debt ceiling was a no-go for Republicans, who still blame the president for refusing to compromise.
It doesn't make any sense if the president has an axe to grind with the opposing party, why he would want to put the American people in the middle of that and enforce the pain on them.
Analysts further warn a catastrophic debt default to America's economy will spread to other countries like an out-of-control plague. Doctors ordered a month's rest for Argentina's president yesterday after they discovered blood on her brain due to a head injury. The spokesperson for President Cristina Fernandez confirmed she had suffered a skull trauma back on August 12th. Doctors discovered bleeding between her brain and skull after the 60-year-old leader complained of headaches and an irregular heartbeat. Her medical setback means the Argentine president won't be able to campaign ahead of congressional midterm elections on October 27th. Such votes will determine whether the ruling Front for Victory party can garner enough seats to enable Fernandez to continue ruling with virtually unchecked power.
And welcome back to TVB News. Northern Taiwan is bracing for strong winds and heavy rain as Typhoon Fito skirts the island this evening. The storm is expected to make landfall on the mainland later tonight or early tomorrow. Earlier today, Fito brought waves up to 6 meters high in Keelung in the north of Taiwan. In the tourist hotspot of Danshui, the combined effects of the storm and high tides left some areas of the coast flooded. Ferry services came to a halt. The typhoon also disrupted some flights at Taoyuan International Airport. In Fujian province on the mainland, there were also reports of flooding as Fito moves towards the region. Fito is expected to make landfall later this evening or early tomorrow somewhere along the coast of Zhejiang and Fujian. It's expected to weaken in strength after that, but its influence will still be felt in several East China provinces.
And good news, you'll be able to get one personal local letter delivered for free next Wednesday. Hong Kong Post will be doing this on Love Post Day as part of an international event marking the founding of the Universal Postal Union on October 9, 1874. Stephanie Choi takes a closer look.
When was the last time you got a handwritten letter from a friend or a loved one?
A long time ago.
A long time ago, like 5 years ago.
How did you feel when you got the letter?
Very good, very good. Personal letters are better than email.
Pretty surprised. It's a postcard. I was really happy because the friend didn't call me from a long time.
Oh, I don't even remember how I felt. It was so long ago.
Now may be a good time to relive those happy moments. Jumping on board Love Post Day on October 9th is Post Collection, a local group that exchanges postcards with people from other countries. On that day, they will be sending customized postcards to local recipients.
I think that it is a reminder for us to encourage people to send message to the others by hand, to write something, and indeed it's deliver happiness and joy and love.
So, why postcards?
The postcard, you can send the artwork, you can send different culture to different people.
Love Post Day was inspired by World Post Day, which is also on October 9th. It is an international event that marks the founding of the Universal Postal Union on October 9th, 1874.
We want to convey the message through the Love Post Day to invite people to pick up their pen again and write something from your heart to send to your beloved.
But it's easier said than done.
Nowadays, not so much people use letters or postcards to communicate with the others because the online social media is too convenient for us to communicate with the others.
This is the 10th year that Hong Kong Post is holding the movement to promote the joy of letter writing. So head over to one of the special collection boxes for Love Post Day on October 9th and send some love. For what it's worth, someone may return the favor. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
And that's our news.
Thanks for watching. Good night.